Have a seat, Vishal.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Have a seat.
Thank you.
So, Vishal, as we can see that you are from Guna, Madhya Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
and you have done your optional is political science and international relations.
Yes, sir.
You have done both BA and MA.
Yes.
BA in political science and MA also in political science.
Yes, sir.
And you have also gone up to the level of interview in 2019 and 20.
Yes, sir.
And Indian Postal Service was allocated to you, but you did not join.
No, sir, I joined, but at the time of filling of that depth, I didn't join. I was preparing for mains.
So now you are working in Indian Postal Service.
Since 21st of March this year, I have been undergoing training in Rafi Ahmed Kidwai National Postal Academy, Ghaziabad.
Okay. And your hobbies include reflective writing, long distance running, and Udan and Navjeevan initiatives. What is this Udan and Navjeevan initiatives?
Sir, as Guna district comes under aspirational district category.
Yes.
So, sir, district administration has launched this unique program in order to fight educational and malnutrition challenges. In Udan program, underprivileged girls who have completed just 11th or 12th of education are selected, and basic education are provided to them so that they can appear in the competitive exam and fight for competitive exams. And in Navjeevan program, sir, malnutrition children are mainly targeted. Lactating mothers and pregnant mothers are counseled. I acted as a volunteer along with others, and we collaborated with ASA and ANM workers, and we counseled lactating and pregnant mother so that they can feed their malnutrition children in a better way.
Okay, all right. Now, tell me, what is the most important function of the President of India? The most important.
Sir, he is the executive head of union.
Executive head.
Yes, sir, he is the head, and most important function I see as he's after his signature only the bill is being considered as a passed.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then, what is the most important thing which he does? Function. This is definitely one function that he gives assent to the bill.
Yes, sir.
Once it has been passed by the legislature.
Yes, sir.
What is the most important thing which he does? Does he not appoint the Prime Minister?
Yes, sir, he appoints.
So that's the most important
Yes,
thing.
sir.
The leader
Yes,
of the party, he lays claim and then he appoints him as the Prime Minister
Yes,
of
sir.
this country. And then only the Prime Minister recommends the names of the ministers to
Yes,
be
sir.
appointed. All right. Now, supposing you are the district magistrate and you are also in a situation which is happening now in Maharashtra, or it started in probably Aligarh also, that you have one group chanting Hanuman Chalisa and the other group Azan, and use of loudspeaker. How do you think you would have best tackled the situation which is now prevailing?
Sir, if we talk on legislative manner, sir, there is Noise Control Pollution Act 2001. If the sound is above that, we can impose fines, or we can put the sound loudspeakers off. And sir, second thing, we need to talk with the community leaders of particular communities that they, because of their loudspeakers, other people getting affected. And I think, sir, religion means living in the harmony, not affecting the interest of other communities. If leaders, we can convince and take into consideration those leaders, and I believe
But
the
that
problem
things,
can be
all
solved.
those things were done also this time also.
Yes, sir.
So that is definitely one. Supposing it doesn't actually lead to any kind of a solution, then what action you have to take?
Sir, if loudspeakers are causing problem to the public health, or they are affecting the privacy of some citizens, then sir, action can be taken against them.
Okay. Now tell me, right now someone quoted, I'm quoting a particular thing which was said by someone. He said, now we have guided missiles and misguided men. Now, if you were in a situation, what exactly would you do to guide the so-called misguided men?
Sir,
Leadership quality. What exactly would you say?
Sir, first is if I am a leader, then my subordinates would do consider me as a leader. If I walk the talk, if uh, I act as a leader, so definitely they follow me. Second thing is to know them, what they really want, why they are misguided, what are the reasons behind that. Then only appropriate action can be taken. Motivate them, providing some incentive according to my capacity can also help them in that manner. Other than that, sir, there are rules and regulation. If they are not following them, then action can be taken against them also.
Okay. Mr. Dakpan.
Vishal, areas of interest, your areas of interest and hobbies.
Yes, sir.
We start from there. You just refer to these two initiatives of the Madhya Pradesh government.
So they are
Udan
specific to Guna district, as Guna needs to develop in terms of education, health, and other infrastructure, because it is one of the aspirational district under transformation of aspirational district program of Niti Aayog.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So these are specific district programs.
Yes, sir.
And you sort of volunteered in these, or I
Sir-
mean, how was it?
Sir, I volunteered in that because district administration publicly give a notice that if somebody who is educated and want and willing to have act as a volunteer, then he can contribute in these
And
programs.
this association was for how long?
Sir, I acted in them for 2 months, but they are continuing right now. Also, they are in continue.
But you are no longer associated with them.
No, sir, I'm not associated right now.
It is not possible to stay associated online and sort of, because these are very important programs.
Sir, I thought I was not able to associate with them because the program of teaching girl is offline, and that Navjeevan in that field visit is required. But my academy does not allow me to go outside in weekdays.
Okay, in the same context, for iron deficiency amongst the children,
Yes, sir.
there is something introduced and getting very popular, is a metal tablet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes,
What
sir.
is it called?
Sir, that I think folic acid tablets are there.
No, it's made of iron only.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
And it is kind of, it sustains. It doesn't, I mean, it is not a one time this thing. You put it in the water, boil it, and give it to the children and keep using it, reusing it endlessly.
Sir,
What is it? Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
not aware about the correct name.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in this context, Government of India first imposed some kind of restrictions on the NGOs which are getting foreign funding.
Yes, sir.
And then there was a petition pending with the Supreme Court.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the latest on that? And first give me the details. Why this restriction was imposed?
Sir, according to IB and Home Ministry, there are some NGOs who are using these funds for some illegal and other activities or lobbying activities, and they are violating the FCRA norm, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act norms. So that is why Ministry of Home Affairs
Okay,
cancelled the
good.
licenses.
Very good. Very good.
And
Supreme Court petition, what happened to that?
sir, currently, what is the status of that petition? I am not aware of. I have to read about it.
Okay, that has been disposed of. Okay.
Okay, sir.
My last question. India-Pakistan relations.
Yes, sir.
Despite all the mistrust and ill will and not too good relations with Pakistan, there is still a very positive development which took place about a year back,
Yes,
and it is continuing. What is that?
sir. Kartarpur Sahib corridor was
No, that is a little kind of older story.
So ceasefire agreement.
Yes, very good.
Yes, sir.
What is it about? I mean, what kind of ceasefire and why would it be needed?
Sir, because both the sides were having heavy casualties because of violation of ceasefire, which was an agreement under the Simla Agreement 1972.
Heavy casualties with a ceasefire violation?
So not heavy, but in both the sides, some of the military personnel.
No, there were hardly any casualties. But the ceasefire itself was costing a lot of, besides tensions, a lot of material loss. Economic cost was very heavy.
Yes, sir.
And roughly how many violations were taking place around, I mean, before this was put in place?
Sir, I am not aware of the correct number.
Close to 5,000 per year.
Okay, sir.
It was as huge. So what is the status now?
So right now, both the countries, I think, are maintaining the status quo or not violating the ceasefire agreement.
So
which
this
happened.
agreement was time bound or it is kind of endless?
Sir, I have to read about it.
Okay, thank you.
Vishal, you've done Pol Science, you studied it in BA,
Yes,
studied
sir.
in MA.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you read Karl Popper, Open Society and Its Enemies?
Yes, sir.
Why does he call those three philosophers the enemies of the Open Society, and which are those philosophers?
Sir, Karl Popper called Plato, Marx, and I'm not sure about the
Hegel.
Okay. As enemies of open society. The reasons are that for Plato, he considered Plato as a fascist or enemy because Plato defended the rule of the philosopher king. According to Karl Popper, philosopher king intention may be wrong and he may turn into a tyrant or led to the totalitarian state. For Hegel, because Hegel considered state as the march of God on earth, and that because of that there would be a kind of authoritarian state may be established where total power would be vested in the state and everybody needs to follow it like a parent. So that is the reason. And for Marx, because uh, Marx, sir, I'm not sure about why he called Marx as a enemy of open
He-
society.
Okay. Just read up on that.
Yes.
Just refresh it. You see the proletarian revolution and the
Yes, sir.
dictatorship of the.
Yes, sir. Like what happened in USSR, Russia, and in China.
Okay. You must have read Machiavelli also.
Yes, sir.
So, what is his two pieces of advice to the prince?
So first is prince should be both fox and lion,
Uh,
so that for lion because he can defend his enemies when they attack on, and fox to be clever to understand.
Defends the nation against the enemy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And fox clever so that he can understand the treacherous and plan of his enemies.
Okay.
First thing. Second, to prince should not touch the property and wife of people because it is better to be feared than to be loved according to Machiavelli, because people generally forget love easily but they do not forget the fear.
He also talks about fortune.
Yes,
He
sir.
calls it fortuna
Yes, sir.
in Italian,
Yes, sir.
and he calls it a coquette. Fortuna is a coquette.
Sir, coquette I am not.
Coquette means a woman of lowly character,
Yes, sir.
and he gives the example. Can you elaborate on that?
Sir, Machiavelli believed that unfortune or fortune kind of situation comes in the life of everyone, and for it is like a women who kind of embrace a man, and if a man has the characteristics of a prince that he avoid those kind of luring things, then after fortune comes glory thing and he would can capable of becoming a prince. This
Okay.
kind per se thing.
Okay, thank you.
Saxena ji.
Vishal, I find that although you are a student of political science and IR,
Yes, sir.
but you have given number 5 preference to foreign service.
Yes, sir.
Why so?
Sir, I want to serve within the nation, and sir, Indian Administrative and Indian Police Service I considered give more opportunity to work at the ground level within the country. So, sir, but there is no better thing about IFS in my mind. I just put it at the fifth level because I
So
want
you
to,
love your comfort zone, you love power and authority.
sir, in IAS IPS.
That's why you have opted for it.
Sir, in IFS also there is a tremendous power. You represent a country in other countries. So, sir, I don't think that there is lack of power in IFS, but there are more opportunities in IAS and IPS to work on the field to connect with the people at the ground level.
You represent the country at various international fora. As ambassadors,
Yes, sir.
you should know that. It's a very important job. Okay, have you heard about the Right to Education Act?
Yes, sir.
Is it successful in our country?
Sir, I think the picture lies somewhere in middle. In some of the states, the 25% reservation for EWS under it is being successful, like in some of the district of Chhattisgarh. But sir, there are some provisions which are not very successful, like school in the 3 kilometer or 5 kilometer of radius, which and school management committees in which parents would be there and other teachers would be there. That is not very much successful. Also, sir, the ratio of children and teacher is not successful according to that act,
But
right?
I heard that at various places uh, there is no adequate infrastructure. There is no school
Yes, sir.
to educate the students, and there are no staff also.
Yes, sir.
The teachers student ratio is very. Okay, have you heard about, since you are already a civil servant,
Yes, sir.
have you heard about conduct rules?
Yes, sir.
What is the conduct rules?
The conduct rules are kind of a disciplinary rules which every civil servant has to follow in public as well as some of them in the private also. So that, sir,
Private means?
like in marriage, in not drinking alcohol in public space, or these are the rules, so that because we are a representative of the government, so we should not do anything uh, which malice the image of the government in front of the in the eyes of the people.
Okay. Are there any guidelines or conduct rules against the tainted politicians who are generally found to be corrupt? Has Supreme Court laid down some guidelines or given some verdict,
Yes, sir.
some observations?
Sir, there is one Lily Thomas case in which if a politician has served more than 2 years of sentence, then he is not able to contest election for next 6 years. That is one thing. Other than that, sir, there are disclosure of property at the time of filing nomination to Election Commission of India. Sir, there is a conduct rule for ministers also, but I am not sure about the MLAs and MPs. They need to follow conduct
But
rules
are
in
these
parliament.
being followed in actual practice? The Election Commission
Yes, sir.
suggested to the government that he is not interested in, he is interested in debarring the politicians from
Yes.
contesting elections. But
Yes,
still
sir.
they are getting elected. They are canvassing from the court.
Yeah, I think so, sir. There are some irony, like for a civil servant can't contest election if he is being convicted or if he is found guilty in some of the charges like in dowry, etc. But it is not the case with the politician. So it is a kind of irony also. And sometimes, according to ADR report, also Association of
Okay,
Democratic
one
Reform.
last question. Is the President of India a head of the government or a head of state?
Sir, he is head of state
State. Huh?
and government of India also,
He's
because
head of
all the
government of
executive
India.
actions are taken on the name of president.
So he is head of government as well as head of state.
Sir, if government is considered as a in parliament, the prime minister is the head of council of minister, but the executive is if it is about taking the decision, it is always in the name of the president.
But who takes the decision?
So
Is it the
actual
president?
De facto prime
If that
minister.
was so, then why there is a differentiation with the presidential form of government? Often this question is asked.
Yes, sir.
So if he's the executive head and he's taking decision, then
Yes,
there
sir.
is no need for a presidential form of government.
But sir, according to Article 74, President has to work according to advice of Council of Minister. So he is not de facto head. Actual head is Prime Minister. That is why we have a parliamentary form of government, because executive and legislature are also not separated. That
So is
also
he executive head or not? This is what I'm asking you. Is the president executive head?
Sir, I'm not sure, but I think he is executive head.
It's very clear, no. It's very clear, no. He is not the executive head. Executive who executes. Right?
Okay, sir.
And that is the Prime Minister.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Vishal, recently we have seen the Russia and the Ukraine conflict is going on. What
Yes,
is
sir.
the India stand?
Sir, as Honorable Foreign Minister Mr. S. Jaishankar told in the Parliament and also in the Raisina dialogue, sir, first thing, we want peace. We want that this conflict should be solved with the dialogue and diplomacy. And third is, we believe in the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the independent nations. And fourth, sir, we always want to follow Article 51 of our Constitution, which talks about solving the dispute with peace and harmony, respecting international order and treaties and agreements.
Okay, can any country be independent in the present stage?
Sir, it depends on how we perceive independence. If it is about isolation, then it is not. If it is about not being influenced by other countries, then no country is being independent. And if we consider independent in terms of the sovereignty of the state, there are many countries which are independent in the nature.
But in the age of globalization, don't you think that the sovereignty is basically under the threat?
Sir, I consider the perception of sovereignty has changed. The meaning of sovereignty has changed. Earlier, it was a kind of absolute sovereignty of state. Now it is a bargaining sovereignty of state. Now, state is not the only actor, but it is one of the main actor. Like, it is first among the equals. So the meaning of sovereignty has changed. State has to bargain for the rights of the people and for the economic growth of the country at the international forum. So I think, sir, the role of state has increased as the sovereignty meaning has changed in the globalization era.
Okay, and then so what are the major languages spoken in the world that a diplomat is basically trained?
Sir, English is the first. Mandarin, I'm not sure about the other languages.
Okay, which is very quite popular language in which most of the diplomats are trained.
So specifically, I'm not sure.
Okay, what should the US should do today with respect to the Afghanistan?
So should do. Sir, USA has this responsibility that because it remained in the Afghanistan from 2001 to 2021, so that peace can be established in the Afghanistan, as it has already invested more than around 1 billion, 100 billion. I'm not sure about the number. So, sir, I think it's a responsibility of USA so that peace and human rights cannot be violated in Afghanistan. More aid need to be given to the Afghan people so that they can fight the poverty and ongoing economic crisis. Further, there is a responsibility of USA to not flee from the Middle East in a volatile, letting it up in a volatile situation, because it is a kind of, it is an act of running away from the responsibilities. First it takes the responsibility, then it runs away from responsibility. So if it wants to be a global leader, if it is want that other countries should admire it, then definitely it needs to take responsibilities which it is taking.
Uh, Earlier, the Pakistan was supporting it. Now, why there is a rift between the Pakistan and the Taliban?
Sir, because there is within the Taliban, there is an organization Tehreek-e-Taliban which attacks on the Pakistan. Second, sir, there is also a Pashtun factor and Duran line factor. For like Taliban does not believe, or Pashtun per se does not believe in the Durand line. So that is becoming a major cause of concern for Pakistan. Also, there is increasing activities of ISIS Khorasan that is creating problem for both Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Is there any ethnic issue also?
Sir, Pashtun issue I think is one of the ethnic issue, and in terms of ISIS, there is ethnic issue of Shia and Sunni. Like ISIS generally attacked on Shia Muslims.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Okay. So, Vishal, we shall take you back to the meeting room for a few moments. We'll call you back again.
Thank you, sir.
Have a seat, Vishal.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, tell me, do you always sport a beard or will you be shaving and then going to the
Sir, I am confused. Sir, I think I should go after saving.
shaving? That
You
will be
will have
better.
a
Yes, sir.
clean shave,
Sir, I am thinking of having mustaches. Will be fine.
like you have
Mustache is
in
fine.
this picture.
No, in this picture, beard is also there. I am planning to go with mustaches only, little mustache.
इतनी बड़ी नहीं.
हाँ,
Little.
little.
Yes, yes.
Properly trimmed mustache.
Yes.
Okay, that will be better.
That's a good message.
And,
लेकिन sorry sir, interview से 3-4 दिन पहले
हाँ.
कर लो, वरना तो because you are used to beard, then you otherwise it will be.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vishal, so we'll come to your, when is your interview fixed?
On 12th of May.
So you still have about 12 days, 11 days with
Yes,
you.
sir.
This is the first time. You have already been earlier also. What were the marks which you obtained?
Sir, in 2019 I got 146. In
Okay.
2020 I got 151 only. And sir, this is my third interview.
Okay. So naturally, you should aim at getting something around 180, 190
Yes, sir,
in this
definitely.
interview. How have you fared your written papers this time?
Better than last time, sir.
Better than last time. Okay. And you are already been allocated to one particular service.
Yes, sir.
So now you should aim at getting a higher service.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, so first of all, in your own assessment, how do you think you performed?
Sir, I think what is written in my DEF, I can prepare more on that, like Udan and Navjeevan in a better and articulative manner. Second thing, sir, I can improve the communication skill, like while I speak, the fluency sometimes is not up to the mark, which is being required or which looks pleasant. So that thing I can work upon. On PSIR, I can read more so that I can able to answer in a more comprehensive manner. Other than that, sir, I would like to.
Okay,
have you
so
confirm.
let me sum it up for you.
Yes, sir.
So Vishal, first of all, let me say that you are good. There is no doubt about it.
Thank
you
you,
have been
sir.
selected in one service,
Yes.
and therefore the expectation would be even higher
Yes, sir.
this time. Now you were found to be in most of the questions mentally alert. Most of them. Some of questions, yes, and analytical skill also you possess quite a bit. Or your answers regarding some of the questions were very good. Political theory, particularly,
Yes,
you were
sir.
able to come out with very good answers, and your power of thinking also is there in a large number of questions.
Thank you.
So now coming to some specific questions, your communication skills are fine, except that sometimes the use of words. Be
Yes.
careful about the use of words,
Yes, sir.
and it should be grammatically correct. You
Okay.
don't have to drop very difficult words,
Okay.
but grammatically it should be correct.
Thank you, sir.
And sometimes you don't have to mention facts and figures unless they are specifically asked,
Okay, sir.
because unnecessarily why do you get into those things
Yes, sir.
which can be avoided. Okay.
Okay.
And you were otherwise confident,
Thank you,
and
sir.
you have pleasant demeanor, and very good. Now first of all, understand that the interview will be based on basically judging whether you are rational, whether you are secular, and whether you are ethical. They are very important things which you have to understand. So none of the questions which are asked to you the answer should not give an impression that one is irrational or unethical or
Yes.
not secular. Coming to the specific questions which were there, now the question about the executive head.
Yes, sir.
Now, Constitution does provide that President is the executive head, but he is just a formal executive head.
Yes, sir.
Because so you have to, whenever you say he is the executive, you have to supplement it by saying
Yes.
that he has to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers, and everything is done in his name, but He is only a formal. So he may be formal executive head. Otherwise, everything is vested in the.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, coming to DAF as such, so many questions will come on political side and international relations.
Yes, sir.
So India and its neighbors,
Yes, sir.
situation in adjoining countries,
Yes, sir.
why the situation of debt trap which is developing, economic almost the Sri Lanka is going down the drain,
Yes,
economy. How is it going to affect India? Why should India be concerned about it?
Yes, sir.
So you can say this question, that answer, that anything happening in our neighborhood, at our borders, it
Yes.
is a cause of concern for us,
Yes, sir.
because it has leads to many problems
Yes.
since we are adjacent to that country. So filtering, people come from as refugees from this side to that side, and many other problems may develop. The situation in Pakistan, then relation with Myanmar, Bhutan, and Nepal, and then India and China, Russia, United States, and United Kingdom, and some other European countries.
Yes, sir.
You must speak, because that is Russia-Ukraine war. What effect has it made on the Indian, in the Indian context? So
Yes,
you
sir.
will say that the supply chain, has been disrupted,
Yes.
and therefore there is a further need to strengthen our Atmanirbhar Bharat
Yes, sir.
attempts. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is not against globalization, but a time has come that because of the disturbances, conflicts which are occurring all over the world, we need to protect everything for our own citizens. So that is why then you can mention Startup India and Stand Up India and so many measures which have been
Yes, sir.
taken. Then coming to the postal service, since you are already serving there, so postal service, you have to have good information about postal service.
Yes, sir.
What are the new measures? Postal service
Yes.
is the still regarded as second largest department,
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it? After railways.
Yes, sir. 4,60,000
Yes.
employees.
So it is
around.
second largest.
Yes, sir.
When earlier the telecommunication was a part of that, then it was very high.
Yes, sir.
But the telecom department also has about 3 to 4 lakhs employees, I think. Now it has come down considerably. So postal department is a non-profit making. It's a
Yes,
loss
sir.
making
Yes, sir.
department. And that is why postal department was not privatized. Telecom was privatized because telecom was revenue earning department. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is why they did not do that, because it's a loss making. So they,
Yes,
why corporatize it? So it was not corporatized. Telecom was corporatized into BSNL.
Okay.
Okay, but so post they withdrew, and then after the disaster of corporatization of telecom department, they withdrew their hands from the railways also. So railways has also not been corporatized.
Yes, sir.
So you must know about the innovative things which have been done in postal department. Many other activities and functions have been added, and
Yes,
you are
sir.
aware about it.
Yes, sir.
Receiving passport applications
Yes.
and JAM and all those things. Then your hobbies we did not ask you, but you will prepare what
Yes,
is the
sir.
reflective writing, long distance running, Udan, Navjeevan, and so on. Then coming to Madhya Pradesh.
Yes,
So
sir.
Madhya Pradesh, you must know the history, the geography, the agriculture crops, the irrigation potential, the road infrastructure, prominent tourist places, what are the weaknesses, the status of women, what are the social evils there, everything about Madhya Pradesh and Guna also you should know that.
Okay, sir.
Then coming to the, I have already discussed about the Indian relation with other countries, and then general knowledge, current
Okay.
affairs. So you must prepare current affairs very well. Then regarding question was asked regarding RTE. So public policies,
Yes, sir.
since you are a student of political science, so many questions may be asked on the public policy making process and who are the official actors, who are the unofficial actors.
Yes, sir.
Particularly unofficial actors, what is their role? Can you name some public policies which are the result of the unofficial actors? Now the examples may be Lokpal, RTI,
RTA. Yes, sir.
and
Domestic.
Food Security Act, and many such acts
Yes,
which
sir.
have come about. And who are the official actors? You should know.
Yes.
So the media and the pressure groups and interest groups, advocacy coalitions, policy networks, and so on. And then of course the official network, official actors that you should know. President is not the official actor. He may be executive head. Official actors are the Prime Minister, the Council of Ministers, the permanent bureaucracy, the legislature and the judiciary. So someone may ask, how is judiciary concerned with policy making? You must know the examples.
Yes.
Where many policies have come as a result of directions from the judiciary.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, the
Vishakha guideline.
NGT, Vishakha guideline and so on. So that's about it, and then understand how Panchayati Raj institutions work. If you go to a village, who are the government machinery officials? You will find them.
Okay, sir.
Who are the people who are non-officials at Panchayat level, Panchayat Samiti level and Zilla Parishad level? What are their functions? Role of the collector, public policies. Why do you want to join civil service? These are typically the questions which will come. If you have any questions, you can ask us.
सर यही था एक तो कि बीएड के साथ जाना है नहीं.
And suit, you are absolutely fine.
Yes.
Everything else is fine. Your communication skills are fine. Do not use very difficult words.
Okay,
Sometimes they convey different meaning. So use simple words, simple English, and take pause. Think about the question, then come out with the answer. Prioritize the answers.
Yes.
The most important part of the answer should come first.
Okay.
Balance the answer, pros and cons if there is a
Okay.
controversial question. Like, for example, reservation is a
Yes.
controversial question. Article 370 and so on. And always give examples.
Okay.
This will make you are good, and definitely you will do very well. And we hope that this time you come near something around 190 or 200.
Thank you,
And
sir.
since you have done your written papers well, we hope that this time you will be able to get the service of your choice.
Thank you, sir.
All the best to you.
All the
Thank you.
Do well.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.